Constitutional and Law Reform Commission to carry out review on government system. Importance of parliamentary committee work highlighted. And Pacific ICT meeting identified challenges faced in the ICT space. A very good evening. You're watching National EMTV News. I'm Godwin Eki. Thank you for joining us. A review that will be carried out by the Constitutional and Law Reform Commission called a review of the form and system of government, the election of the Prime Minister by the people, was launched today by Prime Minister James Marape and CLRC Chairman Saki Soloma. The event was witnessed by all staff of CLRC, prominent parliamentarians and departmental heads and secretaries at the Holiday Inn in Port Moresby.
The government directed the Constitutional and Law Reform Commission to undertake the review as the timing was critical in accordance to the country's 50th independence anniversary in 2025. Chairman for CLRC, Saki Soloma, said the review will look at the system of government, structure of parliament and the election of the Prime Minister by the people.
This review will look at several key areas, which include the system of government, the government system, the current structure of the national parliament, and the election of Prime Minister.
The review will also focus on the three arms of government and its function, the current provincial government system and local level government.
This review will also raise key questions for the people to consider, such as whether we should retain the unicameral parliamentary system of our house, or should there be a bicameral parliamentary system in upper and lower house? Whether we should retain the current provincial government system.
Prime Minister James Marape said there is a need for the review of the current government system.
Incumbent upon our generation to have a review holistically, and from the hindsight, we could refurbish what I relate to as a house called Papua New Guinea, so that it is refurbished and re-anchored and strengthened.
Prime Minister said 2 years from now, the country will be 50 years as a nation. And if there is some law in the constitution that need to be changed, it must be done to cater for the next generation.
This review, whilst the conversation on Prime Minister's election takes the forefront, may I say, this must not be the only issue of engagement with the public. The three arms of government and their structure must be looked at.
CLRC, with other relevant government agencies, will conduct nationwide consultation in all the provinces and the autonomous region of Bougainville from the 5th of March to the 18th of May 2023 to gauge the views of the people. The online survey, which was also launched today, will give access to the people to participate in the review online. The link to the online survey can be found on CLRC's official Facebook page by this afternoon. Cynthia Maku, National EMTV News.
Following the launching of a review to decide on the election of the Prime Minister by the people that will be conducted by the Constitutional and Law Reform Commission, Prime Minister and member for Taripori, James Marape, has shown support towards the review, stating it is a time for change. Prime Minister Marape pledged the support of the government, stating that his government will make sure there is census conducted and proper voting system to ensure everyone gets a fair representation in voting the Prime Minister in the coming years.
The people want to elect Prime Minister, then you must be an advocate of voter registration, one person, one vote, so that it gives us the platform of us to move towards that space. That's something that I have in my mind. And I also have in my mind there must be also a sunset clause, not unlimited, one term or two term, and we define what is one term or two terms, so there is no Prime Minister living forever in this chair. You've got a sunset clause to it, just like the US President, where you only have 2 terms. We could have a 2 term like this, but there must also be a manner in which there is a fairer representation not just from one space, but all parts of our country has an equal voice to the election of the Prime Minister. And
Mainstream media was privileged to have a question and answer session on the work of parliamentary committees and why they are important in the Parliament State Function Room today at Waigani. The aim of the Q&A was to help media understand the work of committees and to help them in reporting about parliamentary committees.
Parliamentary committees are established through Section 118, which provides for the establishment of committee system in Parliament. During every term of Parliament, parliamentary committees are appointed and remain for the whole term. Parliament committees are made up of government members of Parliament and are known as a mini-Parliament. It has three core functions, which are highlighted by the Speaker of Parliament, Kala Aufa.
The parliamentary committee task is equally important to the work that's done on the floor of the Parliament. The main difference is that the work of the committee is actually reached down to the level of the people, goes all the way down to the grassroots. The community or the people all have a feel of what the members have to say, and they actually meet them in their work. So your help in promoting committee work will better ensure a better participation from our people in ensuring the committees actually deliver on their terms of references.
Despite the existence of parliamentary committees, only a few committees have been effective, notably the Public Accounts Committee and the Constitutional Laws, Acts and Subordinate Legislations Committee. When questioned why this was the case, this was the response from the Deputy Clerk of Parliament.
How do the committees become effective? The main reason would be about funding. The core committees have to be sufficiently funded so they can go out and do their work. These committees, they are extension of Parliament. So for the committees to be effective, they have to be funded. But the way we receive funding, it comes on ad hoc basis. So that's the problem we are faced with.
During the discussion on parliamentary committees Q&A, the media was also told to be more accountable in their reporting by Deputy Clerk of Parliament, Basil Kambuliagan.
I want to encourage you, media personnel, is that too much misreporting. Before you publish your reporting, get confirmation from the relevant agencies, like the Committee Secretariat. It's too much misreporting. I think everybody's been fed up of this misreporting. Be investigative journalists. Don't just publish.
This interactive question and answer session left the parliamentary committee panel calling on the media to work closely with them going forward. Rocky Iso, National EMTV News.
A tax liability is a tax liability and no committee in the world can do a thing about it. Opposition leader Joseph Lelang has stated in a press statement. Mr. Lelang made this comment in response to the announcement this week that the National Executive Council has just appointed a panel of 3 independent experts to review a tax dispute between the Internal Revenue Commission and Barrick New Guinea Limited.
Opposition leader said if there was a dispute between the Internal Revenue Commission and Barrick New Guinea Limited, there are appropriate forums under the law for dispute resolutions. This new panel of experts is both a waste of resources and time and has no legal standing at all to resolve any dispute. The opposition leader Joseph Lelang said, and I quote, "This matter was stark clear from the time of the signing of the framework agreement in April 2021 that Barrick was trying to avoid paying its tax liability that is legally due to the country. Other legacy issues under different heads of agreements now constitute a major tribunal that landowners are taking up with Barrick New Guinea and that will be revealed in due course." End quote. Mr. Lelang further went on to say with regards to taxation liabilities, Clause 4 of the Framework Agreement under the header Tax Matters states the matter explicitly. the resolution of all disputes and other matters relating to taxes that relate to areas for all Porgera and are payable by Barrick New Guinea and any of the concerned affiliate up to effective date is an essential condition for Barrick New Guinea to initiate the commencement of mining operations for New Porgera. Meanwhile, Barrick New Guinea has responded to the opposition leader's comments through its media unit with a short statement. We note the statement announcing the NEC's establishment of an independent review panel to examine the tax dispute between the Internal Revenue Commission and Barrick New Guinea Limited. If the panel can assist in seeing the matter be resolved fairly, amicably, and in accordance with PNG law, we welcome its appointment. Rocky Iso, National EMTV News.
Meanwhile, the statement by the opposition leader that the 7 laws relating to the Porgera project were withdrawn is totally incorrect and misleading. The pieces of amended legislations relating to Porgera are required under the Porgera Project Commencement Agreement and are necessary for the reopening of Porgera Mine. This was made known in a media statement today that these laws were passed by Parliament on April 21st, 2022. The gazettal process was done, however, was technically incorrect. Because of this anomaly, the amended legislations are not yet effective until the rectification process, which is underway, is completed. The Pacific ICT Heads Dialogue held in Kokopo has identified issues, challenges and opportunities within the space of ICT. It has been revealed that all participating Pacific Island nations share the concept of collaboration to resolve the issue and share resources to better the ICT space within the region.
The commencement of the eye-level discussion yesterday saw the Chief Executive Officer for NICTA, Mr. Kilavui, nominated as the chairman of the Pacific ICT Dialogue, where he was responsible for guiding the discussions on addressing some of the challenges faced in the ICT sector in the Pacific region, improving connectivity and infrastructure, digital literacy and cybersecurity, digital transformation in the Pacific.
A challenge.
Mr. Vui highlighted the potential benefit of collaboration, emphasizing on the importance of working together to overcome challenges and create greater opportunities.
The purposes of regional collaboration and partnership, effective engagement with our small island countries and our bigger countries is critical in addressing our community needs. Yes, so in terms of resourcing and capacity, those are the areas that we can look at in collaborating. So there's opportunities for collaborating amongst ourselves.
Minister Masiu stressed on the need for collaboration among Pacific leaders to address common challenges faced in the region, such as infrastructure and resource issues, natural disaster, and social issues, which are hindering the progress.
We are not been given that opportunity to also showcase ourselves in higher platforms that we want to participate in. So that is why this is the first of its kind. We are meeting today, and I know that from this meeting there are some very important discussions that's taking place.
Minister Muliava is adamant that such meetings have the potential to bring about significant benefits and growth.
Who were conscious that we cannot live alone. And they built before us connection between all the island. That is why we are here. And on behalf of the government of New Caledonia, we fully supported the aim, the initiative of Minister Masiu.
Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister James Marape has urged all Pacific Island nations to stand united in the space of information, communication and technology for effective service delivery in the region. He made these comments when officiating at the closure of the Pacific ICT Heads Dialogue in Kokopo, East New Britain Province.
From Tokua Airport, the Prime Minister headed straight to the Gazelle International Hotel, where the forum was held, and gave its closing remarks.
I am happy to come to close these important conversations. I know you spoke much. You spoke on the limited broadband infrastructure we have. You spoke on the lack of capacity building, the insufficient funding, the divide we already have in the digital space, concerns on data security, and every other discussions that you've made. In the digital economy space, for instance, these conversations are not irrelevant. They are contemporary. They are conversations on securing the future of our Blue Pacific.
Prime Minister Marape encouraged the participants to move beyond and establish proper resolutions at the ministerial forum.
This must be just a punctuation mark on the conversation for us to move beyond this stage and establish a proper resolution at the Ministers' Forum. And from the Ministers' Forum, the conversation must be elevated to the Leaders' Forum in PIF. And for that, as One Pacific, we establish an ICT platform that sustains our collective well-being, that sustains our economy, that sustains our people's livelihood as we prepare to pass on our Pacific to the next generation.
He also appealed to all participating countries to stand united in all fronts, essential for our coexistence.
Reach out to all of you in the Pacific. If not, most of you need our help. Our capacities here, whatever it is, our financial abilities here in the private sector, for instance, our super funds, and our landowner companies put together, they sit in terms of their strength. The balance sheet combined goes beyond 20 billion kina, so to speak. And so we are ready to mobilize our private sector capital. We're also ready to mobilize government support to assist our brothers in the Pacific in wherever you feel you need a hand for us to assist.
Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National EMTV News. The people of Bans in Jiwaka Province have been called on to take responsibility of law and order in their communities. The call is from Minister for Internal Security and Bougainville Regional Member Peter Chamalili Jr.
Minister Tia Malili Jr., who was recently invited to Bans by North Wagi MP Benjamin Mole to witness the launching of a 41 million kina European Union-funded water supply project, said good behavior is important to see the project materialize. He also stressed that practicing and maintaining Christian principles would reduce law and order issues.
By making easy lo work lo ni plan sa lo police. Am I right, ha? Responsibility stop lo, you me all get that. So me like isn't this time long, just asking you me community, family lo me long Bans, inside lo Jiwaka province, you province, you one can one them all get have lo country where you me all get need lo kism responsibility lo look out team house to up lo you me.
Following the request by local MP Benjamin Mole during the occasion for additional policemen, Tia Malili Jr. gave assurance that he and the Finance and Planning Minister Rainbow Paita have taken note of their request. He also thanked the European Union ambassador for the financial assistance to develop the vital project.
You have invested in a very strategic province in our country, very strategic district in our country. And as the Minister for Police, we will ensure to support you and the development that will happen within the next few years. And hopefully we can continue to provide a better environment for law and order so that not just the European Union, we can see more of the other bilateral partners coming to Bans and investing in Bans for a better Bans.
He pointed out that if people behaved well, lesser money would be needed for law and order, while other important needs get properly funded. Amanda Ilaitia, National EMTV News.
Police in the North Fly district of Western Province has called on all drivers to observe road safety rules to avoid traffic-related issues. They made this call following a car accident in Kiunga recently.
2 people have been injured and several other passengers sustained injuries to their bodies when a 15-seater bus they were traveling on had a collision with another bus. All victims were rushed to the Kiunga District Hospital for urgent medical treatment. One bus was traveling from the airport to town, and the other one was traveling from the main market to drop off passengers when the accident occurred. No deaths have been reported in this road accident. It is understood both buses were speeding, which resulted in the accident. Provincial Police Commander for North Fly Command, Senior Inspector Oena Feke, says there have been an increase in the number of motor vehicles on the road in North Fly. Hence, following road safety rules are vital for all drivers. He explained to the people of North Fly and Western Province that police officers were unable to conduct road checks due to lack of traffic vehicles.
Currently, I have no traffic vehicle here in the province that can do the traffic duties. And I have got only 3 police officers. 1 is on rec leave and the 2 are now active on duty. Unfortunately, they don't have the police traffic vehicle where they can able to do that job.
In previous years, there have been a high number of reported car accidents, especially along the Kiunga-Tabubil Highway in the North Fly district. Senior Inspector Oena Feke says such traffic issues can be avoided if drivers observe road safety rules.
Able to deal with traffic-related issues. That is where we promote public safety in street, and especially Kiunga-Tabubil Highway.
PPC Afeke is now calling on all drivers in Western Province to follow road safety rules to avoid traffic issues. Amanda Ilaitia, National EMTV News.
A brutal incident involving bus 16 driver on Monday afternoon in Port Moresby has been described as of low standards. It was alleged on Monday afternoon, the 13th of February, a police officer attached with the Gordon's police station attacked a bus driver and slashed him with a machete on his right arm. This has resulted in all bus 16 buses stopping their operations since yesterday.
During the peak hours of Monday afternoon, Jonathan Kewa, a bus 16 bus driver, and his crew, James Ano, were entering Gordon's bus stop when they were approached by a police vehicle and directed to stop. Upon adhering to this instruction, they slowed down with passengers still in the bus. According to Jonathan, the bus driver, a police officer came out of the vehicle, approached him, and began attacking him.
Emrojikan kamatay buligam nalasay demolim busnay kamatay na togmi yu kamasone na yula tsbajire na kamstobli namila dodoga milite kam cholem kam first one troma busnay blam second troma milarem third logon troma.
As a result, Jonathan sustained deep cuts and bruises on his right arm. Jonathan and his crew James claim that they did nothing wrong in regards to traffic rules to have fallen victims to such act by this police officer. They say they provide reliable transport for commuters to and from Bomana and are good citizens. Hence, this attack is of low standard by the police officer. More so, the owner of the bus condemned the attack, calling on the police hierarchy to weed out such officers who are tarnishing the good name of the force.
Police is owned by the people of this country. That is the only security post that me playing guard law. Security blown man Mary. But police all the line good plan, but one man only go to the extent and then background plan something. Talking like Aragis law, especially look inshallah this like all corrupt all members when go run and background plan all good plan name law Papa Nungini. Now good plan name law commissioner good plan name law police post.
Meantime, NCD Metropolitan Superintendent Silva Sika told MTV News via telephone this morning that the zone commander for Mosby North East, Chief Inspector Opai, has spoken to these disgruntled bus drivers and a formal complaint will be laid at the Police Internal Investigations Unit.
They may with some outcomes already out of that to identify the policeman and whether it's true or not. And I'm yet to get the proper brief of that. I've rolled out my priority key action items for this year is to improve discipline in the Metropolitan Command in NCD. And if it is confirmed to be real and true that policeman acted in that manner to his driver, then obviously that policeman will be dealt with by law and also administratively with discipline.
Metsup Sika further said only a few bad officers are behaving in such manners in public and ruining the good work that other hard-working officers of the police force are doing. Lindy Suharupa, National MTV News.
The main Highlands bus stop in Mount Hagen came to a standstill yesterday. Before lunch, quick response from police led to dispersion of a rowdy mob who were attacking PMVs randomly.
The commotion started at around lunchtime as stone-throwing youths rushed to the bus stop. This commotion sent people and vehicles speeding for cover. Though information on the incident is sketchy at the moment, it is understood that it is to do with an ethnic conflict. Quick contact and response from the police prevented the commotion from escalating into a much bigger problem. The general community has expressed gratitude for the presence of police and the work they are doing to maintain law and order. Amanda Ilaitia, National MTV News.
Member representatives of the No. 1 Super in Wabeg recently witnessed the opening of the upgraded Wabeg branch yesterday. Formerly located within the Post-PNG office, the Wabeg branch has been relocated to the ground floor of the Bethel building as part of NSL's continued focus on improving member access to superannuation services in centres around the country.
The branch was opened by No. 1 Super member representatives alongside Enga Provincial Administration, Director Corporate Services Rafael Taiman, and No. 1 Super Limited CEO Mr. Paul Seya. Mr. Seya said the opening of the Wabeg branch is part of No. 1 Super's strategy to renovate and upgrade their branches nationwide. He says No. 1 Super looks forward to supporting the growth of their members in Enga province as they work and when they retire. Through this branch, they will continue providing their valuable superannuation products and services to ensure that their members have the chance to enjoy a comfortable retirement. Esther Gane, National MTV News.
And now looking at the NESFund market report, the Kina closed unchanged at $0.2840 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, Yokina was buying $0.2765 US, $0.3925 Australian dollars, $0.2500 euro, 36.34 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York closed, gold is trading lower, coffee closed higher, cocoa closed higher, copra closed higher, palm oil closed lower, crude oil is trading lower, and copper closed higher. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 is trading lower, and the All Ordinaries is trading lower. National MTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to National MTV News. People with impairments should be recognized by the government and supported, says Operations Manager of NCD Disabilities Advocacy Agency, Benson Tegia. He said the PNG government has failed to enforce the 10-year national policy on Disability, which was endorsed in 2015.
Mr. Tagia said the PNG National Policy on Disability, endorsed in 2015, has directed the Department for Community Development, Youth and Religion, Department of Justice and Attorney General, and the Constitutional Law and Reform Commission to facilitate the formulation of a Disability Act and review the existing legislations and policies. Unfortunately, successive governments failed to enforce the NEC directives. He said the other government departments that failed to enforce the NEC directives are NCDC, Department of Health, and Department of Lands and Physical Planning.
If our voices are in there, and if we are able to contribute, you could see some changes on the way, the physical environment, maybe for the start. As it has been built, they will cater for the access needs, maybe the communication needs, the mobility needs. It will be addressed. But that's what we feel, that we have been missing out on a lot of the decisions that are making because we are not part of the conversation. We have been completely denied our voice on those decision-making bodies. And that is the thing that is really like a downfall as a sector.
He said people with impairments are not given the opportunity to participate in forums in almost all sectors. Plans and programs in this country are invisible for persons with impairments.
Very, I think, considered the very last level of, people we have in society seem to be the people with impairments in the country. And because of the inability to bring us to the front, to where the conversation is taking place. And if we are not participating, if we are not contributing, nothing will never happen, and we will be left like this forever. And that's the experience.
In line with the PNC government's development agenda and focus of Leave No One Behind, the NCD-DAA will be having a media conference tomorrow on disability rights with the main aim of raising concerns, needs and challenges of the disability sector in PNG, where representatives from responsible government departments are invited to attend and give their views and recommendations. Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
The rescue firefighting team at Nadsap Airport in Lae Morbe province is now in operation after being commissioned by the acting managing director Joseph Tupiri recently. They are operating at the newly built fire station at the Nadsap Airport.
The aviation rescue and firefighting is an invaluable service in PNG's aviation industry, provided by the National Airports Corporation at major airports in the country. The fire station was built as part of the Nadsap Airport redevelopment project, jointly funded by the government of Papua New Guinea and the Japanese International Cooperation Agency. It is built in modern design to boost firefighting operations at the airport. Once the Nadsap Airport redevelopment program is completed, it will serve as an alternative international airport to Jackson's International Airport. During the commissioning of the newly built fire station, the contractor Dai Nippon Nippo Joint Venture also officially handed over the new airport rescue fire truck, which was also purchased as part of the Nadsap Airport project. The Rescue 3 firefighting vehicle complements the operations of the newly built fire station. This would then enable Nadsap firefighting personnel to respond faster and more efficiently to protect lives and aircraft in an emergency. Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
Minister for Justice and Attorney General Pilaniningi has attended the Criminal Justice Forum for International Cooperation, Crimes, Offender Treatment and Rehabilitation in Tokyo, Japan. It was held at the conference that Papua New Guinea needs capacity to deal with complex cases that involve organized crimes, multiple countries with different legal systems, transitional crime, corruption, and cases that involve electronic and virtual evidences. This Criminal Justice Forum was held from the 13th to the 14th of February 2023.
Minister Niningi was accompanied by senior officials from the Department of Justice and Attorney General. The attendance of the senior officials of the department was crucial as they deal with mutual assistance requests in criminal matters, probation and parole services in the country. Minister Niningi told the forum that there is an increase of transnational and organized crimes in PNG and the Asia-Pacific region as a whole. It was held at a forum that PNG's Department of Justice and Attorney General has experience in processing requests in relation to offences of narcotics, money laundering and corruption cases and is expecting an increase with regards to ongoing investigations by police and the establishment of PNG's Independent Commission Against Corruption. Furthermore, the PNG delegation through Minister Niningi shared experiences in dealing with probation, parole and juvenile services. The forum provided an opportunity for PNG to partner with other countries and development partners to strengthen its mutual legal assistance capacity as well as the treatment and rehabilitation of offenders. This will involve the training and involvement of village court officials as well. Before the forum concluded, Minister Niningi held bilateral talks with His Excellency Ken Saito, Japan's Justice Minister. Lindy Suharupa, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break with Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The long-awaited friendly trial between the NCD Vipers Academy squad and the top team from the Hohola off-season Clash of Wards will be staged come Saturday at the Hohola Ipi Park in Port Moresby.
After having gone through several deferrals due to wet weather conditions, the friendly trial between the top club from the Hohola off-season Clash of Wards and the NCD Vipers Academy will take place this coming Saturday. Hohola off-season tournament president Kambi Ingiman announced that following the top 16 finals playoff over the weekend.
Next week, we play Vipers. Trial belum plan dan Vipers game ya. Dulu rain weather na kano saka na mipla postpone game goal next weekend. Next weekend again.
Ingiman also alluded that the friendly trial would be a great opportunity for the Hohola off-season players to showcase their skills and talents, and he would like to see them make it to the NCD Vipers development squad. Lisa Puni, Trukai Sports.
The EMK Civic Pride has officially signed on former hunters Greats Puara Watobo and Watson Boas today at the Hilton Hotel, Port Moresby. The signing was officiated by EMK Civic Pride's patron, sponsor and EMK construction owner and managing director Emmanuel Kange.
Following a media conference held today, the EMK Civic Pride has officially signed Watson Boas and Puara Wartovo onto the train-on squad ahead of the season. During the signing, Boas and Wartovo were each presented 50,000 kina check as their sign-on bonus, which was witnessed by EMK Civic Pride Board Committee along with the media. After the signing of these two powerhouse, the entire train-on squad, together with their officials and coaching staff, have departed POM for Wewak, where they will be camping and conducting their training sessions before the season 2023 starts. Lisa Puni, Chukai Sports.
Chukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Chukai Sports.
You're watching Chukai Sports. Moving to overseas sports, and basketballer Patty Mills joins push for referendum.
Paddy Mills is synonymous with the success of Australian men's basketball, the star of the Boomers' first ever victory against the United States.
This is Australian basketball history!
He's played in the prestigious NBA for more than a decade, claimed a championship, and led Australia to its long-awaited first Olympic medal, a bronze in Tokyo.
To be able to be in this position now and still be able to achieve the things that I've been able to achieve because of my parents and because of my family.
The Brooklyn Nets star has always been a proud promoter of who he is and where he comes from. The upcoming referendum back home, a renewed cause for recognition.
When you say importance, I guess it's because it's affected us, you know, and my mum and my aunties and uncles had to deal with that.
His mother, Yvonne, was part of the Stolen Generations and always motivated Patty to use basketball to explore his Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander culture.
How can you politely take these, you know, walls down?
He's used his platform to fight against racial injustice and started Indigenous Basketball Australia to give kids just like him a pathway to play professionally.
That ends Chukai Sports. The weather report is next. Stay with us.
Chukai Sports. Chukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus. With you always.
Weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Southern region, Port Moresby, possible brief inland showers and thunderstorms. Popondetta, partly cloudy with brief showers. In the Momase region, Lae, cloudy periods with few showers. Banimo, cloudy periods with few showers and possible thunderstorm. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, cloudy with some showers and thunderstorm. Kimbe, partly cloudy with brief showers. In the Highlands region, Mount Hagen, Mendi and Wabeg, partly cloudy with few showers and thunderstorm.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus. With you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Wednesday, the 15th of February 2023. From the entire news team, pleasant viewing. Bye for now.